Hey everyone, welcome back to History Habits. I'm James Bay, and today we're diving deep into one of the most intense chapters in ancient history. Imagine your city under siege for 18 months, walls crumbling, food running out, enemies at the gates. That's exactly what happened in Jerusalem back in 588 BC. Stick around for the drama, the debates, some humor, and a bit of motivation at the end. Let's time travel. To understand the siege, we got to zoom out into the wild world of the late 7th century BC. The mighty Neo-Assyrian Empire was crumbling like a bad cookie. Internal fights and invaders everywhere. Enter the Neo-Babylonians, led by Nabopolassar, who kicked off their empire in 626 BC. His son, Nebuchadnezzar II, the guy with the hanging gardens, took over in 605 BC after smashing the Egyptians at the Battle of Carchemish. Babylon became the boss of the Fertile Crescent. However, some humor here. If ancient empires were a schoolyard, Babylon just became the playground king. Now, focus on Judah, this tiny kingdom, the southern leftover from ancient Israel, after the north got wrecked by Assyria in 722 BC. Jerusalem was at its heart, political hub, spiritual center, and home to Solomon's temple from around 950 BC. That temple, it housed the Ark of the Covenant. Think Indiana Jones, but really. Judah's kings were always juggling alliances, paying tribute to big shots like Assyria under King Asa. Point of debate, was vassalage smart survival or just cowardly? Enter King Josiah, ruling from 640 to 609 BC, a real reformer. He centralized worship, smashed idols, and rediscovered the book of the law during temple renos. Boom, religious revival. But Josiah died battling Egypt at Megiddo, 609 BC. His successors, a mess. Jehoshaphat lasted months before Egypt booted him. They installed Jehoiakim, who flipped from Egyptian tribute to Babylonian after Karnak. Judah became Babylon's vassal by 604 BC, shipping gold and goodies to Nebuchadnezzar's fancy city, like finding a lost family recipe, but for faith. Fast forward to 597 BC. Jehoiakim rebels against Babylon after Nebuchadnezzar's failed Egypt invasion in 601 BC. Bad move. Ignoring prophet Jeremiah's warnings, this guy was like Judah's doomsaying weather forecaster. Jehoiakim even burned Jeremiah's scroll of prophecies. Debate time. Was Jehoiakim a bold freedom fighter or just recklessly arrogant? The first siege hits March 16, 597 BC. Jerusalem falls under 3 months. King Jehoiakim surrenders and 10,000 elites get deported, including the prophet Ezekiel. Nebuchadnezzar installs Zedekiah, originally from Mattaniah, Josiah's son, as puppet king in 597 BC. Zedekiah is indecisive, caught between pro-Egypt nationalists and Jeremiah's advice to submit to Babylon as divine judgment. Humor. Zedekiah is like that friend who can't pick a restaurant, but with empires at stake. By 589 BC, Zedekiah revolts, egged on by Egypt's pharaoh Ophrah. Big mistake. On January 15th, 588 BC, the 10th day of the 10th month of Zedekiah's 9th year, Nebuchadnezzar's army surrounds Jerusalem. We're talking battery rams, siege towers, ramps, and a full wall around the city to starve them out. The countryside gets ravaged. Cities like Lachish and Ezekah fall. Archaeological fun fact, Lachish ostraka pottery shards say, "We are watching for the fire signals of Lachish, for we cannot see Ezekah." Chilling. The siege drags on for 18 months. A brief lift in 588 BC when Egypt advances. Jeremiah tries to flee, gets tossed in a cistern. Siege resumes, famine, disease, horror. The Book of Lamentations describes it brutally. The hands of compassionate women have boiled their own children. They became their food. Yikes. Point of debate. How much blame goes to leaders versus the people's idolatry? Jeremiah claimed. Not your average diet plan. Summer 587 BC, July. The walls breach on the 9th day of the 4th month. Zedekiah flees, gets caught near Jericho. His sons slaughtered before him, eyes gouged out, chained to Babylon. A month later, Captain Nebuchadnezzar razes the city. Temples destroyed, pillars toppled, treasures looted. Altar, menorah, all gone. Second deportation, about 4,600 exiles. Gedaliah appointed governor, but assassinated by Ishmael. Survivors flee to Egypt, dragging Jeremiah along. The Babylonian exile begins. lasting until 539 BC, when Cyrus the Great conquers Babylon and lets Jews return. By 516 BC, the Second Temple rises. Judaism evolves from temple sacrifices to scripture and prayer. They become people of the books. Modern digs back this up. In Jerusalem, city of David, Babylonian arrowheads, ash layers from fires, burnt houses with charred beams, Javadi parking lot, Nella scented wine jars and ash, a gold bell, maybe from a priest's robe, tunnel for water supply, the broad wall for defense. Al-Yehuda tablets show exiles farming in Babylon with Yahwistic names. History isn't just stories, it's dirt under our nails. Humor. Who knew parking lots hid ancient drama? This siege echoes through time. Romans destroy the temple again in 70 AD. Today, the Western Wall stands as a symbol of enduring faith. One debate: does history repeat just because we ignore lessons, or is it just human nature? Now, how does this ancient siege ignite modern paths to unbreakable resolve? Heed warnings like Jeremiah's. Do weekly prophetic audits, journaling risks. Build endurance with a famine-proof mindset, micro goals, gratitude. Learn from fallout, turn setbacks into rebirth. Here's a quick 30-day plan for you. Days 1 through 7, assess vulnerabilities and set goals. Days 8 through 14, cut distractions and build resilience. Days 15 through 21, confront your fears. Days 22 through 30, launch new projects and celebrate wins. Your personal sieges, job losses, heartbreak, can forge a stronger you. Embrace exile as evolution. Prioritize ethical anchors, foster community. History shows resilience isn't born, it's built. If this fired you up, hit that like button, drop a comment on your favorite debate point, and share with your friend facing their own siege. Subscribe to History Habits for more history that motivates. James Bay signing off for now. See you next time.